isn't all that different from the story of the many students who go through TRIO programs across the entire United States. When I was an elementary student, I was diagnosed with a learning disability. Education was always difficult for me, and whether it was implied or not, I was pointed in the direction of trades rather than getting a college education. And when I graduated from high school, I really had no idea as to where I was going to go in life. And I decided at that point that I should take 2 years and serve a mission for my church. And it was over those 2 years that I feel like I found myself. I had a sincere desire to help people. That was who I was, and that's what I wanted to do. And when I went to college, I decided, you know what, I think I really want to become a counselor. I think that's what I'm meant to do. I think that's what I should be. And I met with my advisor, and they said, well, in order to be a counselor, you have to have a master's degree. Oh. Well, maybe I won't be a counselor then, because that was just overwhelming for me to even imagine getting a master's degree when, you know, I had my learning disability, I was first generation, minority, all of these things just kind of obstacle, 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 and it was hard to imagine being able to get a master's degree my first semester at Northwest College. But while I was at Northwest College, I met with Cindy Childs over at Project Succeed at Northwest College, which is the SSS program there. And she really laid out a roadmap for me, said, okay, this is what you got to do to get your associate's degree. Okay, and then once you get your associate's degree, then we can look at transfer programs for you to get a bachelor's degree, because you certainly can do it, and there's no reason you can't. And it's that support, it's that direction that TRIO gives, which helps us to recognize what our potential really is. So while I was at Project Succeed, I spent hour upon hour at the tutoring center. Algebra was also my Achilles heel. I didn't think I was ever going to be able to get my college level math so that I could get a degree, but hour upon hour in the math tutoring center and support from the TRIO program, I got my associate's degree. I said, okay, that wasn't so bad. Maybe I can go on to the university and get my bachelor's degree. So I went to the University of Wyoming, and my first semester in at the University of Wyoming, I realized, you know, the university classes aren't that much different than they were at the community college. Yeah, I really believe I can get my bachelor's degree. And so I started thinking about my dream of becoming a counselor again. I was a communication major, and I started to look at all the different ways that a communication degree can help me as a counselor. And I decided, you know what, I think I really need to look into that, but I need to know how to do this, and I need to go about it the right way. So let's look to TRIO again, and I met with Susan and Jackie over at the McNair Scholars Program. Meeting with the McNair Scholars Program, they did essentially the same thing. They said, okay, well, here's the map. This is how you do it. This is how you get into graduate school. This is the process. This is the GRE. This is all the different steps that you have to go through in order to get a graduate degree. And so I said, cool. I think I can do this. And so I met with Zachy and Susan and Scott Colhane, worked out a project, and my project was really built around compassion. What is at the heart of who I am? It was thinking about recidivism rates in this country and why they're so high, and how can we help these people to get jobs when they get out of prison? How can we help them to become successful? Basically, the TRIO map applied across to our criminal justice system. And I came to the conclusion that so much of why people succeed or don't succeed is based on their perception if they can or if they can't. And so much of it is, what kind of support do they have? What kind of help do they have when they get out? The more support they have, the more likely they are to stay out of trouble and have a productive life. If they don't have support, then it's going to be very difficult. So I finished at the University of Wyoming with my bachelor's degree and applied to graduate programs in counseling. And I was accepted at several different programs, and I decided to stay at the University of Wyoming where I had my roots and finish my master's degree in 2013. Now, when I look back at my journey and I look back at how I got to where I am today as a counselor working with level individual and family therapy, I think of one major theme. And the theme that I feel is really important is stick to it. Don't give up. I work every day with people who are primarily K-12, who many of them have hit their wall and they say, I can't do this. I can't get a high school degree. I can't get past my emotional problems. I can't. And when I think about this award and what this award represents is the narrative of don't give up. Because everything we do in life, we hit that point where we have a fork in the road, and the fork says, this way says I give up, I'm not going to try, I'm going to go down that path. Or we go down the path of more resistance, the more difficult path, and we say, yeah, I see my goal, I'm going to achieve my goal. Every one of us has that path. And for some of us, we're lucky enough to have people sitting at that fork saying, you can do it. Take the harder path. Set high goals. Have high priorities for yourself, because you're worth it and you can do it. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. Life is about taking chances on yourself. Because if anybody's worth taking a chance, it's on you. And so when I think about this narrative, and I think about these students that I work with, in a lot of ways this award felt like self-promotion. It felt like, ooh, look at me, look what I did, hey. But really what this award represents to me is it's something that I can show the kids that I work with and say, I had obstacles too. Everyone has challenges in life. And you are the only person that puts a ceiling on you. Don't let anybody else put a ceiling on you. You have the opportunity to set goals for yourself and set them as high as you want to. But don't let anyone else tell you can't do it. And that's the narrative of TRIO. The narrative of TRIO is everyone is capable of success. It doesn't matter who you are. So take a chance on yourself. Thank you.